What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about a show that takes place in the most boring setting imaginable, a paper company in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And somehow, it became one of the greatest TV shows ever made. I am talking about The Office. If you have never seen it, what are you doing with your life? And if you have seen it, buckle up, because we are about to revisit the best moments, the best characters, and the most absolutely unhinged things that have ever happened in a fictional workplace. Let's start with the man himself, Michael Scott, regional manager of Dunder Mifflin Scranton, self-proclaimed world's best boss. It literally says so on his mug. Now let's talk about what this man actually does at work. One morning he walks in and just screams parkour and proceeds to jump off a truck onto a refrigerator into a dumpster. Why? No reason. It was just a 2004 internet trend and he wanted to be a part of it. Then there was a time Michael got gum stuck in his hair because he was crawling under Stanley's car to look at something shiny. Best case scenario? A quarter. It was tinfoil. Another masterpiece moment. Michael finds out he needs a colonoscopy. So he walks straight up to Oscar and asks, in your experience, what should I be expecting in terms of sensation or emotion? Should I have a safe word? This man watches Netflix at the office in pieces. He is a huge Meryl Streep fan. After watching The Devil Wears Prada, he started walking around the office going, get me Armani on the phone. But here's the thing about Michael Scott. Underneath all the chaos, the man genuinely loves his team. His heart is in the right place. His execution, though, absolutely terrible. And that is exactly why we love him. Now let's talk about Dwight Schrute. Dwight is a man who considers himself an expert in everything. Bears, beats, Battlestar Galactica. That is literally how he introduces himself. But Dwight's greatest creation, his magnum opus, is a character called Recyclops. Here is the origin story. Corporate told the office to start a recycling program for Earth Day. So Dwight created a character. First year, Recyclops showed up and said, did you know an old milk carton can be used as a planter? Very wholesome. Very sweet. The next year, he got slightly more aggressive. The year after that, Recyclops will drown you in your overwatered lawns. Then his fictional home planet got destroyed by some other fictional thing, and he officially renounced Earth Day and vowed to destroy the planet he once loved. His wife's response? The thing I like most about Recyclops is that he is creating a different world for our child. Ladies and gentlemen, this show. And then there is Dwight's other classic moment, the facts from the future. Jim had stolen a box of Dwight's personal stationery before leaving the bridge, and from time to time, he would send faxes to Dwight signed by future Dwight. One morning the fax read, at 8 a.m. today, someone poisons the coffee. Do not drink the coffee. More instructions will follow. Cordially, future Dwight. Dwight immediately slapped the coffee out of someone's hand and screamed. Jim looked at the camera and just smiled. Jim Halpert, technically a paper salesman, practically the head of the unofficial Dwight pranks department. Jim once paired Dwight's cell phone to his own headset and started taking Dwight's calls, pretending to be Dwight. When Dwight found out and demanded the earpiece back, Jim simply said, can't do that. Unsanitary. Dwight then reprogrammed his desk phone. Jim forwarded that to his phone too. Then Dwight's mother called and Jim answered in German, oh hello mother. Good news, I've married. Such a nice woman. Dwight screamed. And there is another moment where Jim is in Philadelphia and Dwight calls demanding he drive back immediately. Dwight says, you can make it in 30 minutes if you drive 240 miles per hour. Jim, completely straight-faced, asks, how long would it take if I drove 300 miles per hour? Dwight actually calculates it. Gets back to him with 25 minutes. Jim says, thank you. Yes, you're better than me. And hangs up. Now a quick appreciation post for the supporting cast. Stanley Hudson. This man has worked at Dunder Mifflin for 25 years. He only truly comes alive on Pretzel Day. And at one point, the entire office got into a full debate about whether Stanley had a mustache or not. Phyllis, who sits directly across from him every single day, could not confirm either way. Kevin Malone. Kevin was put on phone duty. He wrote the transfer instructions on his hand. Then he washed his hands. Forgot everything. Not a single call was successfully transferred. Andy Bernard. Andy once sailed a boat to the Bahamas and gave the office daily Skype updates from the ocean. He tried to use a desalinator device for fresh water. It sprayed salt water directly into his face. He had been sailing for 2 days. Phyllis Vance. She says the exact same 12 rain cliches every single time it rains. Jim made a bet. He won. The whole office got hot chocolate. Meredith Palmer. Michael asked the class what topics are good for small talk. Meredith raised her hand and shared what her son did over the weekend. Michael looked at the camera and said, God, what you people don't know about business, I could fill a book with. Let me walk you through a few scenes that absolutely live rent-free in my head. Scene 1. Michael and his replacement D'Angelo Vickers meet at a hotel bar for the first time. Both of them have been waiting at the same bar for over 30 minutes. They call each other on the phone. They can hear each other's voices. They can literally see each other's lips moving. And it takes them another full minute to realize they are standing right next to each other. Scene 2. Recyclops storms into the office to destroy everything. Dwight's pregnant wife watches from the sidelines and says warmly, God bless you, Recyclops, and your cold robot heart. Scene 3. Michael quits Dunder Mifflin. He walks into David Wallace's office, looks him dead in the eye and says, I quit. And you have no idea how high I can fly. The entire office expected him to explode, insult Wallace, maybe spit in his face. Instead, he just walked out peacefully and poetically. Scene 4. The chore wheel. Pam creates a wheel to assign office chores, so wheel does not spin. The entire office protests. Pam adds prizes and penalties penalties to make it fun. The chores get completely removed from the wheel. Nobody does any chores, but the wheel spins, and everyone is happy. So here is the thing about The Office. On the surface, it is just a mockumentary about people selling paper in a mid-sized city in Pennsylvania. Nothing about that sentence should work as television, but it does. It really, really does. Because The Office is not really about paper. It is about people. It is about the strange little world you build with the colleagues you never chose. It is about finding meaning in the mundane. And it is about one deeply delusional man who somehow makes you feel like if someone like Michael Scott can find joy every single day, maybe you can too. Every single one of us has a little bit of Jim in us. We're all waiting for someone to look at the camera and just understand. If you have never watched the show, start from season 2. Trust me on that one. And if you have already seen it, drop your favorite moment in the comments below. Mine will always be the facts from the future. Every single time. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next one. Until then.